palm reading of a female whose age is 34. We are reading her hand. I would try to explain to you whatever I see on her palm, and we would be first reading the right hand. Normally, it is said that we should read the left hand for the female and right hand for the male. But these days, what's happening is that the right hand has become prominent even in females. So that's the reason why I try to concentrate on both the hands to arrive at the conclusion. So the first line that we are going to pick up is the headline. This is basically the headline that you see out here. This is the headline, and this is the lifeline. The headline is the line of your thought process, the mental process. This is not the area. This line, some people refer it as the line of intelligence, but in fact, it is the line of your thought process. How stable it is, how unstable it is going to be. So this is what is depicted by this particular line. What is so special about this particular line? See, every person may have a different kind of a line. What is so special about this particular line is that this is the headline. There are few lines that are leaning upward pointing towards the mount of Mercury. This is the mount of Mercury. So that's the reason why it makes it special. Normally, people may not have this kind of a line. They just may have a simple looking headline, something like this. So upward movement of the headline is considered to be a good sign, and these branches that you see are there in the earlier portion of the life before the age of 35. For a few years, let's say from the age of 30 to the age of 35. Now, upward branches on the headline is seen as upliftment of the mind. Now, the question arises, when is going to be that upliftment? Upliftment basically means some success, something betterment coming to one's life, some joy coming in one's life. So this is what is considered to be a good sign to have these upward branches. If we go purely by the palmistry book, the palmistry book says that if you have these upward branches on your headline pointing towards the area of mount of Mercury, it basically signifies that the person could be an author. So this is what the book is saying. I say, okay, I agree with that, but at the same time, I just say that it is some upgradation of your knowledge or some writing, or it could just purely mean some success that the person may experience in their life. And the reason any line point moving towards a finger is always good, any line moving downwards is basically considered to be a negative line to have. Let's take this line. This is the headline. A downward branch is bad and upward branch is good. It means it is going against the gravity. The top of the fingers is the head and the sky. The lower portion of the palm is the earth and gravity. So downward motion is bad. Upward is a good sign to have. So this is one way of looking at it. But apart from this, you would also notice that there is a little bit of confusion in this particular hand. Confusion doesn't mean that this person is confused, but the confusion that we see is that the hand is a little bit different in this way, that this is the headline and there's another line that is running parallel. So this could be another line of head. I will discuss about this particular aspect in the later portion of the video. Right now I won't explain, because this particular line can be seen in terms of maybe it is the money line, because this is the money line, this is also the money line, and this could be another money line, but this could also be another headline. I would be talking about this particular aspect in the later portion, because right now if I speak, there would be lots of confusion. So now what I would try to analyze is the heart line. This is basically the heart line. Every line can be associated with everything else in your life. So the heart line normally is the line of relationship, partnership, and this line is basically the area of how good your relationships are and how consistent your relationships are going to be. And relationships can be any relationship. It need not be only your partner, but it could be each and every relationship that a person may have. I have tried to associate your heartline even to your work profile as well. So the best possible line a person can have is a simple looking heartline without any branches, nothing on it, just plain simple, one single line. A person who has these, you would notice that there's a break like formation, there's an island like formation, The line kind of ends out here, another line starts out here, then there are branches out here. So this makes it a little bit complicated kind of a line. Now what it basically does is that it kind of creates stress and anxiety, and the second thing is that the person may not be able to totally commit themselves to one thing and one thing only. So this is where the person needs to be a little bit careful. If they dedicate themselves into one thing, that is the best. Otherwise, the person may get distracted, may fall for temptations, and falling for temptations for another work may not be such a good sign to have. So this is what the heartline is mentioning. Now, the headline and the lifeline, it has a gap in the middle. Now, having a gap in the middle basically signifies that the person could be a rash person, outgoing person. The person never misses out on opportunities. The person believes in just do it attitude. So these people are basically kind of go-getters. And I wouldn't say that if both lines are joined together, that is a bad sign, because each and everything can be seen in good and bad aspect. So gap in the middle is just means rashness, outgoing, and this is what it basically represents. Now we basically move to the area of Mount of Mercury. On this area, Mount of Mercury is a very important planet. It is the smallest planet, but yet it is one of the most important planet to refer to. I'm not very sure how long the Mercury finger is, because sometimes when the image is taken, the images get distorted, but I'm assuming that this finger is short. It is not reaching the top line of the ring finger, and it appears to be a substantially short. I may be incorrect out here, because what happens is when the person is taking images, they take it in certain angle that it may appear to be short, but it may not be as short as it is. But let's assume that it is short. So short finger basically means that the person's a distance may be getting created between their near and dear ones. It is something like a tower, a long tower of communication, and a short tower. Short tower would have a lesser reach compared to a longer finger, okay, wider reach. And short tower basically is something like if the Mercury finger is short, if this finger is short, it means basically that a person who is standing really close by, there the person is not able to receive the signals, and this person is not able to emit these signals in the right proper way to that particular person. So in that way, it is seen as a negative sign to have a short Mercury finger if it is very short, reaching till here. And the distance may be graded with different kind of people. In the earlier portion, it could be somebody else. In the later portion, in the mid portion, it could be somebody else. And in the later portion, last portion, distance would be created with somebody else. So in the earlier portion, it is basically our near and dear ones, our family, and all these kind of people. In the middle section, it is our colleagues, it is our husband, it could be our children. So those are the things basically the person needs to be a little bit careful about. So it is kind of a blockage they create in the communication part with their near and dear ones. It may not be, in fact, but with the faraway people, the communication could be really good. Such people may be able to communicate with the far off people in a very effective way. And they may be able to talk to 50 people, 100 people in a very effective way. Unknown people, people who have not entered their lives. So this is what it represents. Now, having a short finger has its benefits also, because what happens is that a short Mercury finger, what it does is that it creates a desire, it creates a thirst for knowledge, because this is the finger for knowledge. So the person may think that their knowledge is limited, so they would work extra hard for it. So extra hard, they would try to attain more knowledge, more courses. Those kind of things may happen in their life. Now, if we look on the area for Mount of Mercury, the mount itself, you would notice that there's one line, there's two lines, there are three lines out here. Books of palmistry say if you have got 2-3 lines out here, 2-3-4 lines, it means that the person could be a good doctor, good surgeon. But I would say that not every person becomes a doctor with these particular lines. The real meaning is having good set of skill. So people who are asking about, everybody is asking about success. So we come to a conclusion that if the lines are good out here, the chances of success basically increases manifold, because they are trying to sharpen their skills on a daily basis. Some people, they may have a much more stronger line. Some people, they may have very, very weak and dim and unclear lines. If you have got very dim and unclear, these kind of lines, you notice out here, these are really small. I'm zooming in. These are really small. These are really weak. So weaker lines have got little use. Until and unless you have got strong lines, only then the effect basically comes. So out here, the kind of lines this particular lady has is reasonably strong. So that is a reason why we would say that the person is likely to be sharpening their skills on a daily basis. So that's the reason why they are likely to be successful. One line means one skill, multiple lines, 2 or 3 lines means multiple set of skills that the person may have. Now we move to the third line, that is the sun line. This is the line of sun. And this is also the sign. This is all the sign. These are multiple sun lines that a person has, the lady has. Now, to calculate at which age the age on the sun line, and we see the career prospects on the sun line. So this is the intersection of the head and the sun line. So this point is age 35. So this portion of sun line is before the age of 35. This heart line and sun line intersection is age 53. So this portion to this portion is 35 to 53, this particular portion. And this portion is after the age of 53 on the sun line. Now, people do not have, in generally, people do not have a long sun line. See, length doesn't matter much. It doesn't matter much how long the sun line is. It is just that the sun line should be deep and clear. Only then the effect of this particular line can be seen in one's life. Now, the quality of the sun line is reasonably strong. Not very strong, but reasonably strong. Compared to this particular portion, the sun line is much more deeper and clearer compared to this. This is slightly dim. I wouldn't say very dim, but very, very slightly dim. So a person who has got reasonably strong sun line means that they are likely to have clarity in the work that they are doing. So a sun line that is strong means that the person is likely to get success in the earlier portion, from the earlier portion of their life. It's not going to be in the later portion. Right from the early portion, the person is going to have name and fame. And people say that sun line is also the luck line and the name and fame line. I normally say no. I do agree with that particular aspect as well, that it is the name and fame line and the success line and the career line. But I try to reason out why it is, how to basically interpret it. I normally say that this is the sun and this is the earth. So if the sunline is very weak, I'm just giving an example. If the sunline is very, very weak, barely visible, it means that there are lots of clouds in the middle out here between the sun and the earth, clouds and smoke and all these kind of things. And the sun rays are not able to penetrate the clouds and the smoke and reach the earth. So if the sun rays don't reach the earth, the plants on the earth are not going to grow fast. If there are no clouds in the sky, it basically signifies that a person who having a strong sunline basically signifies that there are no clouds in the sky and the sun rays are straight away reaching the earth and more plants are growing at a faster speed. Plant growing at a faster speed automatically means that more energy is being received. So a strong sunline means that the person is trying to energize their work. And it is something like you are traveling in a car on a road, and if there's lots of smoke around, what's going to happen? You can't see your path clearly. So people who are not successful, the main reason they are not successful is because they lack in clarity. People who have clarity and they know what path they want to travel on, they are likely to be much more successful. So this is the reason why the sunline out here is reasonably good, and in the later portion it becomes even much more deeper and clearer. This multiple sunline could mean multiple set of careers. This particular sunline kind of coming from the area originating on the mount of Mars positive area. That it's just a name. Mars positive area is the area of your coolness, calmness and tenacity. line kind of originating from this particular direction and reaching the mount of sun basically signifies that these particular qualities are likely to be there in such a person, and that is the reason that the person could be known for these particular qualities that the person has. Apart from that, you would also notice that there are few upward kind of lines, not very strong lines, but yet they are there. These particular line that you see, they are kind of originating on the area of Mount of Jupiter. Now, people, they may not have these upward moving lines, or we can say line originating on the Mount of Jupiter. They kind of join either the headline or they join either the lifeline. Both the meaning remain the same. It means mind getting guided by Jupiter, or life getting guided by Jupiter. Life getting guided by Jupiter. So life getting guided by Jupiter means that the life and the mind get the real qualities from Jupiter mount, and Jupiter is a big planet. Big planet means growth, expansion, honor, respect, position, power, and spirituality in one's life. So this is considered to be a positive sign to have, and having this sign basically takes a person to a high position right from an early portion of their life. I'm just going to try to take a look at the other palm also that was sent to me, the left hand as well. Try to correlate. See, normally what happens is that both our hands show similarity, so it doesn't matter much if we are reading the left hand or the right hand, provided they are quite similar. As far as the sun line goes in this particular hand, it doesn't appear to be very strong in the earlier portion, but it becomes really big, really better after the age of 53. Now, normally what happens is that whenever I see a good line in this particular portion, I normally say success throughout one's life. Need not be that you don't need to have a long sunline out here, and still you are likely to be successful in this portion of life as well. The reason I give is because you can't have everything suddenly you can't become successful one fine day. You have to be doing something. That's the reason why you may get more success in your life. This portion between the age of 35, you notice these small line. So this is not so good. These are not so good line. In the right hand, we see the line to be much better compared to the left hand. So I would give more importance to the right hand instead of the left hand, even in females, because these days most of the women are working. So that's the reason why the right hand becomes more prominent hand to refer to. Same upward lines can be seen out here. These upward lines is being an author or something like this, or success in even in the earlier portion of your life can be seen due to this particular upward moving lines that you see out here. I'll just take a look at the other hand images just to get a briefer. This is her hand, and just trying to take a look at any important sign that we see out here or not. On the heart line, you would notice there are few island-like formations. Island-like formations on the heart line could mean elongated period of emotional stress and anxiety. So this portion of life, the person may have already passed by. So in the past, the person could have experienced this thing. Now, an island on the heart line could also mean heart or eye related issues as well, or stress and anxiety related issues. So that's the reason why I would say it's a little bit negative to have this kind of a line. So relationship issues or health related issues related to heart or palpitation related could affect this particular person. Now, she also has these apart from this heart line, these kind of lines can be seen out here. This is called the girdle of Venus. Girdle of Venus basically is seen from negative as well as positive aspect. The negative aspect is that it basically makes our emotions hyper. The person could become hyper, and it means when we are happy, really happy, when we are down, we really have that sinking kind of a feeling. Now, in a day-to-day work that we are doing, it is of no use. This kind of nature is of no use. But if you are like some kind of a photographer, if you are doing some acting there, because your emotions are going so haywire, so what's going to happen, you are able to depict those emotions in a much better way compared to the other people in one's life. So I had mentioned out here, on out here I can see it much more clearly. I had mentioned that the sunline is not so good out here, but this particular line that we refer to, this could also be seen as a sunline that I couldn't basically find in that particular image. So even in this particular portion, we see a reasonably strong sunline. As far as the money line goes, this is basically the line of money. On the money line, you would notice that there's a branch that is moving a little bit inwards in the earlier portion of your life, let's say before the age of, let's say, 30. Inward motion and a line, this is the main money line, and a line moving a little bit closer to the mount of Mars negative area. Now Mars negative area is the area for anger, aggression and fire. See, Mars in itself is a good planet, but money line moving a little bit closer to the mount of Mars is not the best sign to have, because what's going to happen is the person may earn good money, but the person may also lose money as well. And the quality of the money line in the left hand is a little bit unclear, unstable in the earlier portion. It becomes much more stable after this particular point, and it becomes much more stable. So this portion, you would notice, earlier portion, the money line comes, it breaks. There's another money line that kind of starts. So this is the main money line. A line branch joins in. Joining in on the offline is good, and basically then moving out of line is outflow. So it is something like imagine a situation that money line is a river. Let's take this is a river. So a branch joining in, basically more flow coming in, more money coming in. This line moving out is outflow of money. Negative, basically it's a negative aspect to have. But after the age of 33, 34, 35, things could become stable. And when there are breaks on the money line or some problem portions, so we can say instability in money could be due to other aspects as well. Sometimes relationship issues or some health related issues or something or the other may play out in one's life. Now we would briefly look at the line of life, and then basically I would discuss with you whatever I see on the palm. Just 1 minute. Is zooming in. In the earlier portion of the lifeline, the quality of the lifeline doesn't appear to be the best, because you'd notice in the earlier portion of the lifeline, this is the very early portion, 20s or maybe early teens, the quality of the line is not good. They are island-like formation. Island-like formation is a little bit negative kind of indication. And island basically means elongated period of health related issues that the person may experience. And even in the left hand also, the similar indication is that there are two. I'm just going to, this is somebody else's hand, I'm just closing this. So this particular portion also, you would notice that there's a long island like formation. Now should we consider this to be an island, or should we consider it to be just two parallel lines? So two parallel lines is reasonably good, but if it's an island, so it could have some health related issues that may crop up. And we do see these lines originating on the mount of Jupiter and joining the lifeline. This particular line is also similar. This particular line is also similar. So these lines are similar. So these could also benefit the particular person, the particular lady. And upward lines pointing towards finger brings luck, position, power and money, all these things that the person may get in their life. Now I would just end the video out here, and before I end, there's a slideshow that I normally show to everybody so that you know what palmistry is. We can come to know about money from almost all aspects of our palm. And this is the question normally people have. We can come to know about money from heart line, headline, lifeline, sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, or any other line. So this is an importance of money line in terms of how much money we will make in our life is just 15%. So we shouldn't give too much of importance to the money line. The second is, a saint once said, you don't need to go to an astrologer or a palmist to know about your future, because you already know your future. Present is the result of past. How will be my future? Future depends upon what you are doing in the present. What are we? We are product of our thoughts. So the thoughts that come to our mind are really important. So keep positive thoughts and keep in good company, because company matters the most. Thanks, bye, and take care.